Too bad.
No, that's when Chester drops out. It's just.
Oh my god! Yes.
God.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go let Chris know to just try to hook directly into the.
Okay,
The
go
modem.
for it. I'm setting up the hosting anyway. I need
So
to
I'm on
figure out
the
how to make
home
that
stretch at
automatic.
the end of the first Critical Role campaign.
Yeah.
What's that?
And I met Tyrion Darrington this week, and I have been laughing a lot. And I have no one to share that with. But you guys do, because you guys watch or listen or something. So at least I can share this with you. I have been loving that. Doty, take this down.
No.
Yeah, that's old Artificer, though. Old
Yeah,
Artificer.
well, I picked up on that by listening to the things that he's doing already, because I'm like on his third episode of that character. But
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never watched or listened to any of it.
I just listen while I drive. Like I watched one video before I started. It was the best of Scanlan Shortholt, because I heard like that was funny, and that's what convinced me to start listening. Was watching that YouTube compilation of a bunch of different scenes that they did.
Yeah.
And that guy's character like makes the show fun. He has
definitely
jingles.
does.
It's awesome.
I've actually found that I enjoy Dimension 20 more because it's all comedians instead of voice actors. It's the college
Is that
humor
the one
rating.
that had the high school?
Yeah.
I couldn't get into that one.
Yeah,
I personally prefer their other campaigns versus the high school one. They have one with some of the Critical Role cast and some other voice actors. Escape from the Blood Key.
Scott recommended that one. I watched most of the first episode of that. I totally forgot. Like I got distracted with something else and I never went back. But that one was much better than the high school one.
Yeah,
I do completely agree.
Tiny Heist is also a pretty funny.
That one's with the McElroys, and then
I like the McElroys. Them I know. Everything else.
and then Crown of Candy is Game of Thrones.
Only candy pieces.
Instead of blood and murder and all war and all that.
Oh,
And then
there's
there's
still
the
There's a lot of blood
more,
murder.
but-
There's still a lot of blood murder.
And then I'm going to listen to the Star Trek one after I finish the first Critical Role campaign as a like divider, and then I'll start the second Critical Role campaign.
All right.
How far are you into the first Critical Role campaign?
I am less than 20 episodes left.
That's still like 80 hours of Critical Role.
Yeah, but I listen while I drive, so it goes pretty quick.
My sister had a recommendation for me too, because she's watched all of it and wants me to at least listen. And she was saying that on YouTube, since you could set the time to like 125 to speed it up just that little bit, because it's still understandable, but it trims off that extra time.
Yeah.
Like that's actually really clever, and I don't know when I'd have the time for it, but if I ever did, that's how I do it. Yeah, today's just gonna be us talking about stuff until
That's
we get
fine.
one more person here.
You guys are my social life. That's okay.
I'm fine with it. I can tell you guys about school. I just got an email that the required book I bought for $150 isn't required after all, and I can't return it.
I hate when college did that to me.
When they're like, you need to have this book, and then you show up the first day
You
of
need to
class,
have
and
the
they're like,
most basic math book on the planet that goes over algebra you learned in middle school. But never mind, you don't actually need it anymore. We change our minds.
Did they tell you need another book instead?
No, they just said you don't need any books and that everything will be online. Now, I was like, I wish I had known weeks ago when I bought this. Just bad timing.
can you eBay it?
I'm thinking about it. About just selling it back somewhere. Yeah. Like, does anyone want this? I don't need it.
It's $120.
You
You're
know.
gonna have a professor that's gonna say you need it and then never use it.
Or even, my favorites are the professors where the required book is the one that they just published. And then you never touch it the whole semester.
Mhm.
I had one that did that and then actually had a day where for I think it was extra credit, you could come in and get it autographed by him.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It was the cringiest thing. I still have the book.
Did you get it autographed?
Oh yeah, of course, it's extra credit.
Free extra credit, pretty much. Come on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we never opened the book. I've never read a page of it. I still have it on my shelf. It's crisp. It's perfect condition, uncracked spine. Like, yeah.
What's it about?
That one was American history, which might sound actually really bad now that I think about it, that I don't, I never read any of it. But it wasn't required actually in the class. It was required for it, and you had to show him you'd bought it, but we never read it or did anything with
I
it.
have quite a few history classes, and I have never used, like in college, ever had to open that book. If you just went to class,
Nope.
the professor would drone on for an hour and a half, and you would learn everything you needed to know.
Yep. It was for the people who I think don't go then. Like, oh man, now I have to read this. Oh.
If you had history class at 7 a.m, you'd be reading the book the day of the final.
Yeah.
The day of the final, yeah, on the way there. For me, on the bus, just cramming. Everything's going to be online. It'll be interesting. I went from never having taken an online class to everything will be. This will be.
Sounds familiar.
Are we going to be fighting a hag? Do I remember that correctly?
Yes.
Yep.
So,
Well,
Well,
maybe.
should I just start? Do we update Chris when he gets here, or what are we?
Did we roll initiative?
I was about to have you do that because oh boy, because hold on, I can go over I have our when last we left thing if we want, but like I said, I didn't know if we wanted to wait for Chris to join or not.
glowing bell symbols on the floor. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and the map isn't doing its weird, like, bouncing
Is it
in
not
and out
now?
on my screen.
Okay, good. I don't know why it was
All
doing
right, everyone,
that.
quick, start moving your tokens.
If you move them, I will penalize you. And wait until you see the penalty. I have plans for you, asshole.
She has a roll.
After last time, I was like, I rewrote part of the encounter because I'm like, just in case, if you're gonna troll, I'll troll you back. So I dare you. Should I just start?
Yeah, and
We'll just update.
I'm assuming that we're going to be in an initiative order, so
Yeah. Okay, so when last we left, you defeated the enormous black ooze and ventured deeper into the caves. After splitting up Scooby-Doo style and getting distracted by some perfectly normal walls, you made your way back to one another. Once there, you encountered a beautiful young woman who asked what you were doing in her home. After attempting to corner her and demanding she return the children, she dropped her disguise, revealing herself to be a stony hag, and summoned 2 headless golems from the lava rock walls surrounding you, and she vanished. After Alaris landed just a devastating first blow, you were able to make short work of the golems, way shorter than I had planned, even after they fused into one, and broke down the wall separating you from the hag, which was not, in fact, a normal wall. The cavern you stumbled into glows with arcane light, carved deep with sigils and patterns that burn a sickly green, the magic ripples seeming to pause in spaces like a beating heart. Upon entering the cavern, I believe Wiskava immediately said she was calling down Moonbeam on the hag as soon as she saw her. And I wrote, is this where you would still like to pick up?
Okay.
So that is up to you guys.
Yeah, because we saw her right in the middle, right? Like,
Yeah, she is this token because I was never able to do an illustration for her. So she is the me, unfortunately. And you guys had
You're
walked
calling
in-
yourself beautiful. Wow, conceited.
No, she's a stony awful hag now who is disgusting and awful. But she shut up. Chester, I hate you. Yeah, so you guys had walked in, immediately saw her, and Tucker, you yelled, "I'm gonna moonbeam." So I didn't know if that's where you guys wanted to pick up, because if so, go for it, set it up, and then everyone will roll initiative.
Okay.
okay, yeah. So I moonbeam right on top of her.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So let me.
Remind me the moonbeam. I forget.
1 million damage.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yay.
It's the orbital laser.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's to 11th level now. Yay!
You destroyed the islands. Good job. Game over.
Yay.
Dead.
Campaign 2. Woohoo! The raising of Ma'aka.
That would be cool. I could do it like Maui. No, focus. It's okay. You got me way too excited. My childhood. I was like, I can make you guys find a guy and he'll have a hook. All right. Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
And I'm doing it
All
at
of these
third
things, you're
level
welcome.
I hate you. You're welcome.
because I don't have any second level spell slots left.
Okay. So I will do that. Where's her? Oh god, she's on like page 30. Where'd she go? Oh, that's what I didn't grab your dice. Sorry. Ah. I have everything all together now. I don't have to go in another room to get my stuff. Look at this.
And that's really going to take down the amount of time we have to talk bad about you behind your back.
I mean, no, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. So this is a con save, eh?
Well, she doesn't make it until her turn.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully then. So
If she gets a turn.
yes, everyone roll initiative for me though.
Because have you seen Alarix's initiative rolls? They're always amazing.
Yes.
And I always sit here with my +9 modifier saying, well, that's not fair.
I don't understand for some reason. I'll never understand. So for her initiative. Ooh, well, that'll be interesting. Da, 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 da.
Can I go ahead and burn my 8 and give her an initiative roll of 8?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Yeah, I'll burn my 8 and so I'll initiative roll of
Forget.
8.
Is that her total or is that her roll and then her mods
Roll
get
and
added?
then modify. That's her. That's what she would effectively have rolled.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But okay, that's a good thing because she got a 20. Good call. Good call. What's happening?
What is happening?
Who's
Is that
drawing?
not
What
Moonbeam?
are you doing? Is
I
that
I messed something up. Yeah.
okay?
I was trying to
That
put
is,
my.
that is fine. I'm getting all my dice out. But yeah, everybody roll initiative then, and then things will happen. I need more dice. But
Dice
it's
goblin.
cheap, so it's not going to happen. I only have 2 actual sets of dice. Everything else is random ones that I got as defects from the store.
Pulsing.
I don't know. I'm super Googling.
I blame
Yep.
Chester.
Chester, why
I
are you
think
posting all over my stuff? Can you cut
Well,
it
I
out?
was drawing earlier and it didn't seem to bug you. So I followed Tucker's example of, because Tucker was doing it first during your narrative. And then I just started joining in.
Oh yeah, that was right. We were doing this when
Yeah.
she was describing.
every-
Yeah, because the circle pulses. I was just giving it an effect.
Yeah.
Well,
we
I'm
were all
really glad
assistant
that everyone was
teacher.
paying attention to the recap because there definitely weren't hints in there. What was Gava's 2 initiatives? But okay.
Something was screwy on mine. So
Okay.
it's 19. I didn't think it took the first one, but it did, and then yeah.
So it is
Look at that. See? A +1 modifier and
and slaughter.
better than me.
That one's for Stein. I had already rolled initiative up top for Alaris. She has a
Oh,
24
did you wanna-
for Alaris, and I don't
Okay.
know if you wanted Stein to go on the same turn.
we've been doing that so far. I mean, we can change it if you'd like, but
Nope, I'm good with 24 for us.
then
Chester,
you're
why
first.
can you never roll a good initiative roll?
I don't know.
Good thing you're not playing an assassin.
I have a +9 modifier. I can't stack the odds in my favor any better than that.
You could
Yeah,
get
I
a
really
weapon of warning so you'd have advantage on the roll.
Because it's not even like I'm rolling once. So halfling luck wouldn't help. There's just nothing going here.
Right. You get a weapon of warning that you never use, just attuned to a dagger of warning. And
Yeah.
then you get advantage on it.
Right?
Okay, so real quick, Moonbeam hits, and it's this nice, pretty circle. As Moonbeam hits, a lash of energy whips out from the complicated sigil on the ground, flickering in front of you before fading. The hag screeches, and where is your? Oh, I have so many things open. I can't find your character. Wait, hold on. I need to move everybody's video. Where is everything? Before she steps in front of you. Where are you? Is this you?
Yep, that's me.
That's you. She steps in front of you and screams, "Stop breaking my things." She strikes you and you fall unconscious, and now you have something to read in your handouts.
Oh, snap. She just hit me.
Oh
right.
wow.
Would she have had to do the con save at the beginning
Does
of
it
her
say
turn
you are
because of
dead?
Moonbeam?
No, because the Moonbeam it's for her personal save. It's on the beginning of her turn, right?
Well, she probably won't have to make it now because it's going to disappear if I just went unconscious.
Yeah.
And she has to start her turn there.
But okay, so then I'm debating how this works without giving everything away.
Well, if it was a reaction that she's using to get over there, then she would not have to make the save.
Yeah, kind of. It is a reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
She wouldn't have to.
Okay, then yes. Note says you are dead till. Chester, shush!
What?
Did you hack my shit? How dare you?
You're stealing from my tabletop games. That's why.
Anyway, so that happened.
No, it says this.
So did it make a roll, like an attack roll on me or at all, or
No,
it's just so fast it hits automatic?
Kind of. I'm playing with
Okay.
something, and I can't
Okay,
tell you
cool.
without spoiling it.
Okay, cool.
It's not an attack, and I will say it does not qualify as magical sleep. So
Okay.
you're just out now.
Intellect
Okay.
Devour.
Oh, then the
Kill
moonbeam is
Wisconsin.
also gone. So the moonbeam showed up and then disappeared, and I fell over.
Yeah. I'll say it basically struck where she was. It hit the ground. You see the cool, I always imagine Moonbeam with like rocks levitating and shit. So that happens. She screams, "Stop breaking my things." And suddenly she's next to you, basically just bitch slaps you and you fall unconscious.
So did she run really fast or did she teleport?
She misty stepped.
Okay.
This
Which
is
I need to
getting-
take a note.
Interesting.
I've been planning this.
Mhm.
So now,
Remove
yeah, that was a surprise round. That's all done. You have your handout, or you should have a handout to read now.
Okay.
And it is Alaris's turn.
Okay, may I do a quick Arcana check for the sigils in the ground?
Yes.
If that's my action, let me know. But
Well, what are you trying to? How much are you trying to determine?
okay, so she had screamed out, "Stop breaking my things," and then
Yes.
whatever she did to Wiskava happened. But Wiskava's attack caused it to pulse. I would like to determine if the sigils on the ground are actually empowering her.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if that is the case, if getting rid of the sigils will
Okay.
weaken her for everyone else.
Okay. Yeah. For all of that, I don't. I feel like that would be an action just because that's several specific things you're looking for. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no.
You probably have to walk
Hilarious.
towards it too, just to get an angle. Because right now we're far away. We probably can't even actually see what the sigil is.
You can't make out. Yeah. You can't make out the design. Since they are actively glowing, you can see the energy coming from them. So
Mhm.
it is very clear that that's happening. Even with the 5, I'll just reiterate it. You did see that essentially the sequence of events was the moonbeam hit the sigil and a lash of that same green energy whipped out and struck Wiskava.
Mhm.
And it was as if the hag was moving with that lash of energy. That's how fast it was.
All right. So in that case,
Nothing super definitive, I'll say.
all right,
But yeah.
especially with that roll.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I was like,
so
oh,
Alaris
she's
will
act-
call out to everyone else. Please help Wiskava. And I will go 10, 20, 30 to get closer.
Okay.
I have a good bonus action right now, so I will bonus action dash to get here so I can do a more thorough investigation or do something really stupid on my next turn. And I will ask Stein to give Arazu the help action. So Stein's going to be
Okay.
kind of flying around the hag.
Okay, sure.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So hold on because now it's Wiskava's turn and let me know. Have you finished reading? I will ask you that first, Tucker.
I mean, no, but yeah, kind of.
Okay. No, it's no, well,
But I mean,
So
it's not really my turn because my turn was the moonbeam, so it's the next person's turn.
no, that was a surprise round because she and I were not anticipating someone was going to walk in and immediately AoE some shit. So
Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, I guess it's my turn.
yeah, and give you a sec to finish reading that then because yeah,
I got enough of it. I got the gist.
She wants you to have more than just.
yeah, there's information that I'm not going to say is
Well, you're not going to take it away from me, are you?
What, the dream?
The
Or
dream?
No,
Okay.
but it might inform what you do with your turn.
If you
What I'm
don't
getting
read
at.
this, it's going to be a TPK.
Not
So is all of this happening super fast in my head, or is it happening right now? Because like there's a lot going on
Yeah.
here.
Yes. So you're not sure. It doesn't feel like a dream. This feels
Okay.
like it's happening in real life.
Okay.
It just so happens that when you come unconscious now, you will have realized, or maybe you won't realize, but
Right. No, but what I'm asking,
Mhm.
did all of this already happen, or am I in the middle of it, trying to decide what I'm going to do?
this has already happened. When it becomes your turn, essentially you come
Okay.
to on the ground. And I'll have a thing to read when you decide. Oh, when you're up. And I know
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I got it. So
Okay,
Now
so
what goes
you
on?
come to, you are prone, and you have a level of exhaustion as well as the knowledge that somehow you have badly hurt one of the children.
okay. Yeah. I look around. Do I see the body of a child, or do I see
Where are you looking?
around me? Right. Like I don't know.
So-
I don't know if I'm awake or not. So
Okay, so are you just
What
like,
do- no, I mean I don't understand. Like
yeah.
what am I seeing now? Am I still seeing everybody else frozen, or am I seeing
No, now you're,
Dolores over here by the sigil and
yeah, you wake up and see this now. The setup
okay.
is up for you, yeah. Whether or not Waskava's fully cognizant of the fact that that was a dream, a manipulation, a nightmare, that is,
Right. I mean I'm looking around for the dead child
yeah.
or the dying child.
And
Yeah.
your see invisibility would be gone now, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Then
But it wouldn't matter because it's not really there. So it's not gonna see something that's not actually there.
Well, that's why. Okay, so that's why I'm asking where you're looking, and I'm assuming since you're looking
I'm
everywhere,
looking all over. Yeah.
you do see children. Then, and I will just oh man, I didn't really. Hold on.
Would I have seen them when I first walked in?
If you had immediately moonbeamed, yes, because you had see invisibility. That's what I asked last time. And I'm like, I'm gonna give them a chance to change his mind. I need you guys, sorry, to pull tokens back in, but I will say this is what Waskava now sees. No, why aren't they there?
No, I see him.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you
see
do. Why don't I? Wait, I'm on the wrong map. There we go. So where your moonbeam hit, where the hag had been, there's a little form on the floor.
Okay,
And so-
but I hit right there.
Mhm.
But yeah, okay.
I don't want to clip them.
So you
So
want to
be
back
a-
out where they
be a-
were?
Yeah, if you want.
Luckily, it wasn't its turn, so it didn't do any real damage.
Somewhere up there. I think it was still with the
How it was an interaction issue, yes. Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, gotta move yours.
Okay.
And he's not here.
So would I have been able to see these bodies though when I first walked in?
You would have, but because you weren't looking and you had that immediate reaction, I didn't have time to tell you because you didn't ask to look around or anything. You're just like, I moonbeam her, fucker. I know. But
Okay.
that's also why I'm saying the child doesn't actually look hurt right now.
Okay.
This Sumari's or is this Auntie? I don't know who that is.
I
I also can't find.
This is Auntie.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this, and this will be the hag right now. I changed.
That's a fun token.
That was my goal from the first fight.
I like it.
Okay.
Ugly boy. So now
Well,
it is your turn. You are prone,
Okay.
and you have a
Um,
level of exhaustion.
yeah, I'm yelling out the children, and I'm crawling. I you know, yeah, I will get up and it's the same amount of movement if I'm crawling or I get up
Yeah.
and use half my movement. But I'm going to lose half my movement and then dash towards the child. I will take an attack of opportunity from her.
Yeah. And she'll take it because you're breaking her toys.
Yeah.
Where's her? So she's just swiping at you with claw. 19. I don't remember for you.
Yeah, that's my armor class. That hits.
Okay. So for 10 slashing.
Okay.
Just swipes at you as you pass.
Okay.
And now
But I'm pointing, but I'm not pointing at anything because it's all invisible.
so yeah, no one else sees anything. You just heard Wiskava scream the children, and start
But I am pointing, right? I'm pointing them out as I'm running towards them.
Yeah.
We will see if we have good enough perception to have an idea of where you're pointing in a moment.
Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We think Wiskava's crazy. So
I don't think Wiskava's crazy. I think Wiskava has a reason to do something, but for some, is definitely going to kill
she's
his
been
fucking
hit on the
hat.
head and clearly collapsed, and woke up screaming about the children.
I got blasted by the sigil and then woke up crazy. That's what happened.
And you saw the sigil strike her for sure.
Yep.
So how far did you go? 30? So did you dash to here, right?
So I would have gone 45 because I
45.
lost half my movement, then I dashed.
Okay, that would put you here. Okay. You guys have control of the tokens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, I did that right. Okay, good.
Yeah, you just told us not to move.
Well, now you can. God, I take it back.
She actually did give us clearance to put our tokens ish where they were.
We're
We're working from memory now.
I take back. I mean, I can switch up and back and check, but I don't care. Arazu, it's now your turn.
So the goal at the top is the hag.
This is the hag right now.
What's the cat?
The
What
cat
cat?
is me.
The cat's
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure and I didn't want to make exceptions or anything. I was like, I don't remember anyone else being down there, but gotcha. Okay.
Yep, same
Well,
thing.
then-
Shayna not being able to make a token for the hag. I have not gotten around to making a token for Alaris.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't another, oh yeah, I can get there without even trying. I'm gonna go punch the hag.
All right. Please remember, on your first attack, you have advantage.
Oh, I've got more than advantage. I've got an extra attack and all sorts of shenanigans that I'm gonna remember this time around. Let's see here, ambush. So my first turn, if I hit, I get an extra 1d8. So plus 10 movement, didn't need it. Take the attack action. I can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action. So my normal attack routine plus 1. So we'll go with how many? I should have reviewed this before we started. It's been too long. How many attacks do I even have right now?
Should have 3 with
3?
the additional attack.
With the additional attack. All right. So all 3 with the Nothic blade. Screw it. Let's go to town.
So not punching.
Oh, and I've got advantage on these because of the bird thing, right?
Just
For
on
the first one.
Just on the first one. Okay, so the first hit is for 21,
21 hits.
and that's damage there, whatever.
7.
So second hit without advantage is just a 12.
And this is all
Third
magic.
hit no advantage is an 11.
And this is all magic, piercing, slashing damage.
Yes.
Do you have Shayna's rolls today?
Yeah. What's happening? You're getting the tops on hitting, and then. Okay. Okay. So those all hit.
Really?
An 11
Only the
and
first
a,
one had advantage.
Oh God, I'm looking. No, sorry, I was looking
Yeah,
at.
sorry. I didn't group them this time because I
Yeah.
actually had advantage on one, so I said it as I went. So
Yeah.
it's a 21, a 12, and an 11.
So only the 21 hits then, but that is magical, piercing, slashing, right?
Yes, and then I get an extra 1d8 damage of the same.
Okay.
Roll 1d8. Yep, Shanna rolls.
I mean, I'd feel bad, but you guys just walked through my golems before, and I loved the design of those. So
And we haven't done this in a while, so there's the Nothic blade right up for you on the
yeah.
contested saves because I'm using that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to really badly for me.
Oh yeah, this is gonna go really poorly for you, and you're gonna have a lot of homework to read before next session. But you don't have anything now, but you'll have quite a lot to read.
she has to fail her wisdom save first, but
Yeah, but it's me. We just said it's Shayna.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
but you're the DM right now, and you roll great when you're the DM.
unfortunately.
I have the same problem. It's okay.
Do you want to do anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Okay. then it is her turn. And
Really? With okay, she beat a 10 with an 8. She's a good Dex character. Sweet.
just it's a 3. It's by 1.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where did I have her? So she clutches at Arazu, and this is the wrong person for it, but this is what I have her programmed to do. She clutches at you and cries out, "Why would you attack me?" and attempts to cast Charm Person.
Nice. Did a link get formed, or are we not rolling for that?
You said, is it at the beginning or the end?
The link establishes, but nothing happens until.
Oh, okay. Hold on. No, that's her wisdom.
I think you said
right?
that was. Yeah, first
right, it's been a minute.
tested wisdom saves.
Okay.
So
wisdom.
wisdom saves, not
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
she's
I'm pretty sure 5 doesn't do it. So.
Yep, I got a 13. Woo!
Okay, so 5 fails. So that's established.
Yay. Okay, now you can do your thing.
Okay. Well,
At least you rolled a crappy 13, not on the charm.
Right?
Yeah.
yeah, so she's trying to cast Charm Person on you. Which so I'm not really confident that this is going to work out for her.
You never know.
Right?
Usually a wisdom save.
Yeah, so it should be a wisdom save. With
Well, it shouldn't be with advantage, that I don't think, unless I've got something that.
yeah.
Nope, just against being frightened.
Well, sometimes actually it might
No.
be in.
Yeah,
Yeah, charm is in combat. You get advantage.
and since it's in combat, you have advantage. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
wisdom save with advantage.
Wisdom save with advantage, which I have the. It's a.
I got a 22.
Okay, it doesn't work. And
Arazu is not charmed by her feminine wiles.
no, he is not. And when that. Oh wait, hold on.
I need to remember that I have luck on this character.
You have
Not that it mattered. I haven't rolled a 1, but at this rate, I'm sure it will.
I don't think I can do. Oh, I can. Okay, then when she sees that you don't seem swayed, now she will. She can only get to here, but she will Misty Step. Boop.
Damn.
And get away from you because you're trying to stab her, and that's not very nice of you. Now it's Auntie.
Okay, Auntie will go and 15, 20, and specifying only the hag for the spiritual guardians
Okay.
was the only target.
Yes.
I'm seeing Wiskava crawling towards whatever Wiskava is crawling for. You're gonna
She's not
cast,
crawling, but
or yeah,
You did get up? Okay.
is going to cast spiritual guardians. So 5 of these adorable things appear.
Oh, link. And it's not a me link. I'm going to click on it.
We'll share with you later why it's
So
specifically these chickens.
Okay. Oh, it's very pretty. Pretty chicken. Okay. Lots of chicken.
Yeah, so spiritual guardians. So
Chicken tornado.
and let's see. I don't really have a bonus action. I don't think that I can do.
That's I forget. Spiritual guardian is the starting turn in it, right? Okay.
Yeah, and and she's in difficult terrain.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see. Do I have a bonus action? What bonus actions do I have? I don't have any bonus actions that aren't also spells. So yeah, there's that. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Then we are back to the top with Alaris.
Okay. So Wiskava is pointing. Do you want me to roll maybe a perception check to see if I can figure out roughly where she's pointing?
Yes, and with with her having pointed it out, and also with Alaris having already been paying attention specifically to Arcana, you have advantage.
Okay. Arcana or perception, though? Which would you prefer?
I would say perception.
Okay. That's unfortunate. But
yeah, because you're just watching me.
Yeah. So with the 13, you can't see the child, obviously, but I will say you notice that perhaps where she's pointing, is Gustavo pointing at only one child or at a bunch of them? Like, is she taking turns pointing at them, or what's she doing?
Well, she is actually pointing kind of away from her towards all these people over here while walking very much towards the one she thinks she hit. So she's like, there's children. Go hit the children. Save the children. And she's running, was like crawling and then getting up and running towards that one right there.
Okay.
So I'll say you would have, Alaris would have
But it wasn't like real specific on where, because they're all over in here.
Okay, well, in that case, with that roll, I'm guessing that from where the hag was standing before, I will walk here, and then I'm just going to be feeling along the ground to try to find the kid,
Okay.
and then
What-
pull them
what
away if I can.
What I will say is with the 13, you definitely notice that where that pulsing seems to be, I was describing the flow of the energy stopping, like a heartbeat skipping and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be a spot where Wiskava's running towards, and
Okay,
I
I will
would
go.
take your action to feel around and find the child, but sure enough, that's where that's happening.
Okay, yeah. So I will grab the child and I use 10 feet of movement. I will be able to step at least 5 feet back with the kid and then use my bonus action to dash to move 5, 10, 15. I should be able to get there after grabbing the kid.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's far enough away. I'm guessing that the spot they're in is specific and important, but I should be able to pull them that far away.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So you still don't see anything. You feel that you're holding something. It sure feels like a small form of a child. And you can see that that tendril of energy before that had shot out and struck Wiskava is something similar, is attached to the nothingness that is in your arms. As you pull away and get, how far did you get? 15 feet? What did I have it at?
Let's see, where's my snap it? So from here, looks probably 20 feet total.
Okay.
Away from where the kid originally was.
Okay. Then that's actually it. Was there anything else Alaris could do, or do you want Stein to go now?
Stein will give Arazu advantage again.
Okay. Then it's Wiskava.
Because Stein is small owl right now.
Okay.
That's right. I'm gonna make a little mark so that we know that child has been moved.
Okay. I yell out, "You got her. Is she breathing?" And then I cast Fairy Fire right over here to catch them all. All right in here. I can't catch them all down here, but I should be able to get all of these right in here.
These being what?
The children.
Well, no, I know.
They're unconscious. They're not going to make their deck save.
2, 3, 4. What does Fairy Fire affect?
Makes them visible.
Yeah, it makes invisible creatures visible.
But it's invisible creatures. Visible, right?
Yep.
Not all invisible things.
No,
Okay.
it's like glitter got sprinkled all over them.
Yeah, it is any invisibility, both magical and natural invisibility.
I know I could use the tool, but I won't. So you now see 4 glittery tiny forms. This one, and it's been...
Each object. It doesn't specify creatures at all.
Oh, is it object?
Yep. I just pasted in the thing for you.
Oh, did you?
Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or
Alright,
violet
cool.
choice. Blah,
And you
blah, blah, blah.
also see a black stone shot through with glowing green veins that seems to be pulsing in rhythm to the magic and the rest of the sigil.
Okay. What else am I seeing? Because there's a lot invisible here.
I know, that's it. That is now it. And you would have seen that. So I'm just saying that's now also visible because
Okay, where is
I
that?
wasn't sure if objects counted.
Well, it doesn't make them actually visible. It coats them in dust.
Yeah,
and glitter
I was
and-
just saying
But what am I actually seeing? Because I can really see it.
That's what you're seeing. No one else is seeing that. They're seeing a lump that has a bunch of glitter on it. You're seeing
Okay.
that actual rock that's pulsing.
Okay.
There's a lot of pulsing happening in this cave. I'm sorry. My apologies.
If you mention anything about pulsing, I will try to dispel it next turn.
I know. Like different visions suck. They're hard to do.
Sorry.
It's all
But
good.
also, so what would Viscava like to from here?
Well, yeah. So I casted that. I see that thing now that I've missed. Where's the rock?
It is this in the center,
Here.
Okay.
or the center, quote unquote.
How big is it?
Eh.
Oh, okay. It's little. I just
Yeah,
go,
it's not
I run
a-
over and pick it up because I should be able to do that as an object interaction.
Okay, hold on.
She's like, I did not think you'd be that stupid. One
I-
second.
I can't attack it because that would be an attack.
Okay. There. Okay, there it is. Okay, so how far? Oh, well, actually, it doesn't matter because reasons. Is that at 35, 40, 50? Okay, so all of a sudden, the hag's next to you again, and she let's read it. She gapes at you in horror as the sigil flickers beneath her. The energy seems to be redirecting, now moving smoothly through the area where the previous child had been and where now the stone is missing. No longer beating there. A flush of that diseased green energy washes over her and she shudders. Wounds healing before your eyes, which is only one wound, but you know.
Yeah.
The sheer horror on her face turns to intrigue as she tilts her head at you. She abruptly sounds much older, her mannerisms more mature as she considers you. Oh, so you don't want the children back? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Do you want to play then? I guess no wonder she wasn't worried about you, an eye for an eye after all. I'll just have to get more, I suppose. And she slashes at you.
Okay.
Same thing with her claws. That's
You
a 20.
Extra turns? Is that a thing?
And legendary creatures do. What I want to know is, did she teleport again?
Yes, Misty Step. But
Okay.
she's not. I could explain after.
It's fine. I'm not.
So,
Hopefully it's a reaction, so you guys should just like whack her before it's her turn.
yeah, that's why I was curious because I was like, my turn was before hers, unless it's something special that I get skipped.
No, you did not get skipped. This is a very special.
Yeah, well, also, if it wasn't a reaction, she should have taken my spiritual guardian's damage, and
That's a reaction. And that's another 10 slashing damage to Wiskava. And she is now trying to get that stone back. But yes, okay, so now back to normal. Now it is Arazu.
Hey, I am going to shadow step behind her because I can. That's exactly 60 feet. So
Oh,
I have advantage on my first attack again.
okay.
And I'm going to be spending my key points to get a flurry of blows this time. So 3 attacks with my Nothic Blade.
Okay.
First one with advantage.
I have faith in you.
Actually,
Is-
please remind me, are we doing the flanking rules?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So all of my attacks are with advantage. Yay! So the first one's a 21 to hit.
Double advantage this
The
time.
second one is a 16 to hit. The next one is a 28 to hit.
Does he still get flanking even though I don't have my sword out?
Oh, is that how that is?
I don't know. It did in Pathfinder. It would have screwed it up, but I don't think in 5th edition it
it
actually
does not
matters.
actually, because you're still hostile to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so those, yes, so advantage on all of those. The 16 misses, but the other 2 hit.
Okay.
So that is 10 and 8. Yes? Am I
Yep.
correct? Okay. Did you have extra damage to roll or no?
Well, it's 10 and 10 damage, so 20 damage.
10 and 10.
The only thing not having a
Oh,
weapon
okay.
does is, like, technically you can't take an attack of opportunity, which is weird because you should be able to grapple them if you don't have a weapon out, but you have to have a weapon out in order to grapple them or be a monk.
That's weird.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird. Anything else Arazu would like to do?
No, the next stuff happens at the beginning of her turn because that's when the blade stuff starts to do the thing.
Okay. Okay, sorry. No, okay. Then it is her turn. You still have her rock. She's ignoring Arazu.
Okay.
No offense. And she's going to try and cast Dissonant Whispers on Wiskava.
You know, I just curious. The end of last session, I Hunter's marked her, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Or did that go away when she turned ugly, or when she went from being to whatever?
No, that's just her change form. She's not.
Okay. Well, then I guess I've got 3 attacks of Hunter's mark damage to throw in. Well, she healed the early one, so just these 2 of Hunter's.
Yeah, because it's just the typical change shape of polymorph.
Gotcha.
So it's not.
So there's 2 attacks worth of Hunter's mark damage then.
I won't.
I was like, why do I have marked off that I used one of those? I don't remember using one of those. Oh, yeah. Because we had a discussion about there's no save, and I'm like, I need to use this way more often.
Okay.
Hunter's Mark and Hex are
I
really
know.
good for that.
I just always feel like there's a save for some reason.
Well, it's really weird because the supposed better version of both of those spells, which is Bestow Curse, does have a save.
But on the flip side, Hunter's Mark can last for a long time and just keep switching between targets once it's up. And that,
Technically, Bestow Curse, if cast at 5th level, lasts forever.
well, there you go.
Well, and Bestow Curse affects saving throws, which is a lot better than skill checks.
Right.
Also true.
I need a wisdom saving throw from Wiskava.
Okay.
She's trying to dissonant whisper you.
Did she do her contested will saves yet?
No. I keep
Because that's the beginning of her turn.
I will just
23?
23 is fine. I will continue to miss these, I'm sure. Wisdom save 12.
I rolled a 22.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You actually rolled a 25. Because you were 10 feet from me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so I crushed her willpower with my.
I mean, is it a good thing to be
No.
getting the memories of an evil hag eldritch deity thing?
Sometimes our duties are not pleasant in life.
He's going to have a lot to read, and I'm going to have a lot to write, and I'm very excited about it. Okay. I'm so happy.
Duty is not always pleasant, but the memories of the fallen must be preserved.
Nerd.
But
Okay.
I didn't make an edgelord. You were worried. I didn't do it.
I wanted an edgelord. I always want edgelords. Come on. Okay. Was that all for? Oh no, that was her. She did that. She's just really focusing on getting her damn rock back, so she's not going nowhere. Auntie.
Okay. Auntie will move over here.
She's probably
Chicken's still following her, as chickens do, and start swarming the lady.
Are you stepping on the child? I hope
Actually, I
you are.
wouldn't be that close.
They're definitely not attacking.
Exactly there. And we'll also look at the rock, the semi-invisible rock, and
The lump of glitter that was Kava's cradling.
How tall is this hag person? She really tall?
No, she was
You want to play tag in the middle?
like 5 foot maybe. I mean, honestly,
Middle.
I was just like, can't meet.
It's like the 3 witches with the eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly
I'm gonna
right.
try to dispel magic this thing.
Okay. What? How?
Here's the, or should I try to remove curse?
What are you doing it on, Steady?
The rock.
The rock?
I would guess dispel magic in that case.
I would
Dispel magic only does spells. That's actually how it's written.
Yeah.
So it won't do anything to an item.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, dispel magic only affects spells that were cast.
Nifty.
Well, what if the spell was cast on an item?
Yeah, it would dispel the spell that was cast on the
It
item.
would dispel the fairy fire and the invisibility.
Right.
Right.
That's what
Well,
I was
it's-
actually concerned about. Weirdly, I have removed curse cast because prepared because I was worried about your guys' memory loss things.
Mhm. I do remember you saying that specifically. So
Yep. Any spell of 3rd level or lower. Any spell of 4th level or lower. So yeah.
So I guess I will go my full movement and get to here because remove curse is a touch spell, and
rock.
and I will touch the rock and I'll burn a 3rd level spell. Hopefully, whatever doing it is a curse because I'm casting remove curse on it.
Remove curse on the rock.
Uh-huh.
You should, while you're doing that, I'm going to see you. I'm going to push the rock into your hand.
Okay.
Like hand it off.
Yeah.
So that second message from me, Shayna, has the remove curse for you if you need it.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just reading the
Scott put it into.
stats on it. At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object end. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
Nifty.
And if it's not cursed, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just evil.
Yeah.
But remember, a curse is technically anything that could possibly have a malignant effect to it.
Well, so that's kind of what I'm wondering because this is just. I mean, I can just.
Curse
It
is
probably.
anything that says curse in your stat block.
Yeah.
Well, none of it says curse. Curse doesn't appear in the stat blocks for any of this. I mean, I can just say this is a Hearthstone. So I don't know. It's just a Hearthstone that has extra properties, but it's not cursed. So
I mean,
it's obviously malignant. It's obviously not nice. So that's why I'm
Right.
kind of floundering as to what the rules for this would be.
I mean, you could
Well,
argue that if there's an attunement effect, that the attunement could
That's
that
what
the
I'm
attunement
wondering.
breaks.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is if it breaks the attunement.
It's also, if it's a cursed object cursing the kids, it might free the kids if they're still tethered to it.
It's not a curse. I, for the sake of it, will say that it breaks attunement, but since it's not a curse, that's the only property that changes.
Okay, that's perfectly fair.
It'll break attunement. So the tendril that was connecting it to her fizzles and disappears.
Sweet.
There you go. And when that happens, the wound that she had taken earlier that had healed from Arazu reappears.
Yes.
So I have to do fucking math.
Get it.
I would also like I know that they're still technically invisible to me, but did any of the kids look like Spare the Dying would help? Because it's the only bonus action I have at this point. So
I don't know. You're
I
practically
would
on
say-
one. You could try it.
I was gonna say you could try it, but I would say that you wouldn't know ahead of time because they invisible, so you can't tell anything.
right.
What else are you going to use your bonus action on, though?
Yeah, I'll try to bonus action the kid that's right next to me that I can see. Spare the Dying.
Okay. What was that do again?
Basically, if they're dying, they're stabilized.
Use fair. Okay, so you touch her to
The
do
kid
that.
starts coughing up glitter. I was dying, choking on glitter, and now I'm
And
okay.
he might know if they weren't.
Weren't dying.
Yeah, he might know if they were stable before.
They were stable,
Okay, sweet.
so you know that child was stable when you
Okay,
did that.
good. That makes things easier for me.
Back to the top then with Alaris.
Okay. Let's see. I've still got a kid. Hag seems to have
my
managed
kid.
to get. It's my kid now. No one's getting him. I will go ahead, bonus action cast Shadow Blade, and then chuck it at the hag.
Okay. I will say really quick, the tendril that's connecting the child to the sigil has not changed.
Right.
The one connecting the hag to the stone has, but everything else is maintained.
Yep. Still working on that.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I was clear because,
All right. So pretty sure 14 misses.
yeah, sorry.
All right. I will then use my movement. 5, 10, 15. Because I'm carrying something, so that's half movement.
Okay, so you're moving with the kid further away?
Yep, I've still got it. And so long as you're not telling me that it feels like the kid is bleeding, I am just trying to get the kid into a comfortable position, like over my shoulder, and moving away.
Okay. So the child does not feel like bleeding or anything, but after you get a little further away from that tether as it pulls Potter, it does this weird snap and then lashes out and strikes you. And the same thing that happened to Escava before now happens to you. So now you have a handout. And you have fallen unconscious. I will say that because you were moving carefully with the kid, you don't like drop them or collapse on them. Instead, you just kind of collapse where you are, probably still holding them. But that is now Alaris. What we want Stein to do real quick.
Let's see. Alaris would not have had a chance to mentally tell Stein what to do.
Mhm.
So Stein is going to take the dodge action and fly over to Alaris, trying to wake her up.
Okay, that sounds good. Then Escava.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have just moved that. Oh well.
Okay.
Here we go.
I just smile and I say my turn. And I'm going to take 2 attacks. I'm going to draw my sword and just start hacking into her.
Seems like a fair response. Okay.
15 and 27.
The 15 misses, but the 27 hits.
Okay.
No, you have advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 19 and
The
27.
19 does hit, yeah. So 19 and 27, thank you.
Sorry,
Okay.
I had water in my mouth. I had to no.
Okay.
Gotta swallow faster, Jesus.
I am going to drop a first level smite in there too.
Okay.
This is just the. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm only going to do it once, so.
Okay. What kind of damage is all this?
The 6 and the 8 are both just slashing, regular slashing, and then 5 points of radiant.
Okay. Okay. She responds much more strongly to the radiant than the slashing. Okay. Does Bravo want to do anything else?
Yeah, and then she'll yell out, Arazu, let's just carve this bitch up. And I will give you inspiration.
I mean, that is inspiring.
I mean, my chickens are here too. Just
You could inspire the chickens.
These are such good sentences. You're inspired. I tell you to carve the bitch up. The chickens.
Scotty, are those kids in your chickens though? Oh no, you can make it so that they don't.
I very specifically said only the hag is.
Yes, and he very specifically was only
Where-
the hag. No one else.
Where are you? Where are you, Scotty?
He's a plural.
I'm up there. Don't give me inspiration. I'm not going to be making attack rolls.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure you have to specify who doesn't get hit, not who does. So you want to make sure there's ones you can't see. So she will yell, "Don't move forward."
Let me look it up because I forget. And, they flit around you 15 feet. You can designate any number of creatures you can see to be affected by it. So when he said just the hag, I think that's
Okay.
I mean, still,
Okay. No, that's cool. I just thought it was the other way around, that you had to designate who wasn't.
No,
Miss
actually,
Tom might not know
technically the way you did it would work on invisible enemies. The way this is worded, like if somebody's invisible when I cast this,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That kind of sucks. That means even if you can hold it between fights, you can't use it between fights.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's very intentional.
I was gonna say I think that's to keep it from being way too OP.
I mean, it's already kind of an OP spell.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah.
a good one, but was that it for Riscava?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, then Arazu.
Yay. I am going to continue to punish this crazy lady. And I'm going to do another flurry of blows. So 3 attacks with advantage with the Nothic
Oh
blade.
no, you were actually right, Tucker. When you cast this spell, you can designate them as a creature to be unaffected by it. You were
Yeah,
correct.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why she's saying don't move forward.
All right, so 3 attacks with advantage, including Hunter's Mark damage this time. Yay.
Yay.
1, 2, 3. So
There
there we
you
go. 23, 23, 26.
Yes, and those are all successful hits.
And lots of damages.
It looks for 22 damage so far. You want to roll Hunter's Mark?
It looks like he already rolled it on top of his piercing slashing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I didn't even.
Yeah, he's got a flag. He just didn't.
Yeah,
have
I
it before.
included the Hunter's. Yeah, sorry. I verbally said it was included.
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Remember, I love these character sheets and all the fun things they let me do.
I know. So that's a 1, a 6, and a 4 for Hunter's Mark. Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. That happens.
No, that happened.
That happened.
She is now on her turn again doing the contested will save, but
Okay.
And another wisdom save because it's her turn.
She was finally getting slaughtered by chickens. I'll start with the save against the Nothic. Oh
Okay.
my god. Okay, so a 3. I'm gonna guess that doesn't do it.
25 for me because of the bonus from Wiskava.
And it's wisdom for Guardian, yes?
Yeah.
A 5. Huh. I'm what happened to me rolling well as a TM? What happened?
And this
It's
is
because
all,
you're not used to
that's radiant damage.
And that's radiant? Okay.
You're not using the roll 20 cheats, Shanna.
I know. I should be. Okay. She is looking rough, my guys. Like, super rough. But now since it's her turn,
Got a
and
bunch of puncture marks on her back, you know.
she has lost
Did we determine how tall she was? Because I missed some. Can we just do this with the rock?
Yeah, that's what you guys are doing. She's 5 foot and she's short. She's just jumping up trying to grab it. And when that's not working, now what she'll do.
Now I feel even worse. I'm a 6-foot dude stabbing her in the back repeatedly.
So if you guys are playing hot potato, who has it right
Well,
now?
I have it. It's just
Okay.
so I'm 5'10". I'm pretty sure Wiskava is pretty.
Okay, but
We're just like-
if Auntie has it now, that means she's attacking Auntie.
Yeah.
So she's going to try and swipe at you.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to guess an 8 fails. Jesus Christ. Okay, but now that that's moved, she will Misty Step over to where the child is. Oh, wait, what's 30? Where's my measure? Where's my measuring stick?
You can definitely get there.
You
Okay.
can definitely
Yeah,
get it.
you get there.
Okay. I was like, I thought so, but 30 feet is exactly there. So I can't get to the other side of you, which she would do if she could. And
So lucky she's Misty stepping.
he is taking the child from Alaris since Alaris is unconscious. And now it is Auntie's turn.
Auntie will like. Fine.
Auntie has to get her
Super
right and chasing after with the chickens.
Go over here.
Wiskava yells at no. The one
she
Alaris has invisible.
No, the one she has is one of the ones that was hit by Flary Fire.
No, it wasn't.
No, it
Alaris
wasn't.
was her.
Okay.
So if that would change what you do, I'll let you take it back.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll go here.
Yeah,
Or sorry, here.
whatever.
So it barely clips.
Yeah, so it barely clips her. And she's in the process of taking the kid, so we'll just say.
I'm about to ruin her day.
Okay.
Okay, I will bonus action cast spiritual weapon here
Okay.
as a second level.
Okay. Spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, 26 hits.
Yeah. Sure does.
So 13 points of force damage.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, you're not escaping the grave this time, bitch. And I'm going to cast, and I'm going to use Channel Divinity Path to the Grave on her.
Okay.
What? Tuck just rolled his eyes. What's up?
No, nothing.
Okay.
That's my action,
So
so.
I've got.
Okay. Then we are back to the top of the round with Alaris, who is now waking up.
All right.
And
so-
same thing as Wiskava, you wake up with the fear that you've injured one of the children and with a level of exhaustion.
Oh, that's not good. That's disadvantage.
I actually don't attack her yet.
So immediately upon waking up, what all of you hear is Alaris scream out, "Wiskava, we have to break the stone. It is sucking the life out of the children. Even if we get the hag, someone else is going to take the stone." And
I don't know if that's true. That's why I gave it to Auntie.
I'll figure out the stone. Do not attack her yet.
All right, I will stand up.
Discord.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Build up Discord. And so I will stand up and I will hold my action. Bonus action. Actually, I can't do that because I fell asleep. So that would have. I pull out my rapier and I will hold my action and I will attack the hag. Either until Auntie says so, or if she.
Mechanically, it's because you need to be able to sneak attack. Because I'm trying to maximize something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am holding off until.
One of us gets there.
That
Yeah.
yeah, until that perfect circumstance. Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, you were still on the ground, so are you using your action to get up? Or
no,
you-
So I use half my action to get up.
Yeah, okay.
I'm holding my action, which means I do not have a
Yeah.
reaction, by the way,
Okay.
to attack once I can get sneak attack.
Okay. What do you want Stein to do?
Stein is going to give me advantage.
There you
Help
go.
use
Oh, I
that
forgot about
advantage,
Stein.
Which means,
But Stein is going after Alaris, so it's fine.
yeah. So I still would have to use. My
Would have had to
reaction
wait
to do this.
Yeah.
There was a reason.
So it would have taken a second anyway. But okay. Then
Where's my? Nope, that was spells. I need actions. Thank you very much. And
Danke,
this,
danke.
unfortunately, is just regular damage. 21 to hit.
21 hits.
All right, so it's 1d8 plus 5d6 plus 5.
And it's not magical.
Right. This is just a
It's-
rapier because she
it's-
got knocked out.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
piercing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they can't. So the vulnerability and the resistance cancel each other out.
Maybe.
Ah,
If
okay.
maybe she's vulnerable to radiant.
Well, except this isn't. Well, I think she is vulnerable to radiant, but I don't have.
No, I'm saying that maybe she's not actually resistant to non-magical damage.
Alright, so what is this?
This is just piercing damage because this is just my
Okay.
regular rapier. I
Yeah.
ran out
Yeah.
of spell slots to cast Shadow Blade,
Okay.
and I could not do my cantrip for fire damage and hold an action.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. I will
Okay.
say, as your rapier pierces her, she's got a lot of stone growing on and out of her, so it doesn't seem to do quite as much as you would have.
Except that she has
Except for
vulnerability.
she does have Path of the Grave. So
Which
she's
means-
got vulnerability and
Yeah.
resistance if she had resistance.
So they
Yeah,
cancel.
so they cancel. Yeah. She's looking real rough. She's real mad, and she's clutching the child to her. She's got a lot of moxie. I hate you. If that is it for Alaris, then it's what's good.
Aw.
Okay. So I gotta ask, when we've been watching her like do her weird reaction misty steps and stuff,
Yes. Yes.
does she move? Does she say anything? Does she move around her hands? Is she
It only has a verbal component, and I'm gonna ruin her day with that.
okay? Well, does she say anything? Like, does she have to do anything at all when she's doing those reaction misty steps?
No, not for the reaction.
Okay.
If you want to make some kind of perception or arcana, I would let you just for free.
No,
try to notice.
That's the only thing I needed to know.
Okay. Yeah. No, there you don't see her doing anything. She just suddenly does it.
Okay. In that case,
Arazu, you're like, wow, a lot of shit's glowing in here. It's weird.
I was totally gonna silence the crap out of her because I just assumed she's misty stepping when you say misty step, and that's verbal. Damn it!
Oh my god.
Ruining my day.
let's put a hole in her.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's got the kid.
She's holding, I mean, it's, you can see, no one else can, but yeah, you see that she's holding a child like this to her.
If you
So,
tell
like-
me, I will drop Spirit Guardians.
Okay. Yeah. No. She's yelling that as she goes.
Okay,
It's
yeah, I'll
in
drop
your-
Spirit Guardians. I'll stop.
She's
concentrating.
just saying. She's actually just saying back up because she knows. So she's just saying back up, back up, back up. But
Yeah, I don't have the reaction to back up, so I'm gonna just drop Spirit Guardian.
Okay.
That's fine. I can stop concentrating.
Yes.
I mean, I could also revivify the kid, but that's a waste of a diamond. So
Okay.
Those children wasting diamonds.
I am going to
Mm.
try to pull the kid away.
Should I grab her? Okay.
Yep. I'm going to try to grab the kid.
Okay.
Which sucks because this is a disadvantage because I'm
Yeah.
exhausted.
Mhm.
I'm assuming. What do you want me to make? Strength check or
I would assume strength.
athletics?
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually what you use for like a
Yeah.
combat maneuver.
For her, yeah, just strength athletics then is fine.
Okay, so 22.
And her posed. Yeah. For 20. Nope. Okay, so you pull the child away from her.
Okay.
You pull the child in half.
I win!
We're not doing a shared child game, Chester. If we split the baby in half, you can both have it. Sorry.
I put the kid behind me. I throw my shield power on her, on the kid,
Mhm.
and I just snarl and bite my lip so that it's bleeding a little bit at the hag.
Okay.
Give me a big bloody kiss.
Okay. Then now it's Arazu.
I do throw her this way, so she's still not behind this direction, so she's still not in. Oh no, Annie dropped it anyway. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
it
dropped
dropped it because I'm not gonna kill a kid.
So, Shadow jump. Actually, I'm just gonna run so I can do the full attack, right? Yep, because I'm gonna do again flurry of blows with a Nothic blade.
Okay.
So key point, and so 3 of those, no advantage this time because boo. It's all right. I just need to hit once. All right. Yay.
Yep. 27.
On that first one, I'm
Mhm.
going to hit another 2 key points to do a stunning attack,
Mhm.
which is there for you because that matters.
Mm-hmm. Constitution saving throw.
Yes. And
So are you able to use your Nothic blade as your flurry instead of just unarmed?
because it's a monk weapon.
She got a 16 on her con save.
awesome. Because what does it have to be against?
No, what I mean, are you able to, like, does it have a special ability where you can use it as your extra attacks? Or do you still have to go, like, sword, punch, punch?
I don't know. I thought if it's a monk weapon, which
No, your unarmed. If your extra attacks for flurry and unarmed strike always have to be unarmed strike. But you're high enough level, you probably actually deal as much damage with your unarmed strikes as you do.
Yeah, it's just the effect of the Nothic blade that really matters.
Yeah, it's cool.
So what is the DC for that Constitution save? I don't
know. And in answer to your whisper, Chester, nothing yet. So nothing. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's fine.
You're looking for your save DC is based upon your wisdom, so it should be a con save versus your
16. So like my spell save DC would be the same thing.
Yeah.
So 16.
Okay, so she got it 16.
And what'd you roll?
16.
So she made it.
Damn it.
Sorry.
I got one more attempt at that anyway. So So attack number 2, no advantage. 13. Damn it.
You still have inspiration though.
I do.
You still have a
many
D6. It's only a D6. My inspiration sucks.
1d6. That's fine. It's something.
I'll get a 6. Watch.
That's an inspiration roll, not an attack roll. I can't use my luck for that because it's not an ability check. It's not a saving throw. It's not an attack roll.
Sorry. That doesn't quite do it.
Third attack. Suck it.
There you go. The 24 does it.
All right, the last of my key points. I am out now for another stunning strike. Give me another con save and roll lower this time.
Okay. So demanding. Golly.
I'm out now. Well, that's... I'm keyed out.
I got the exact same score. I got a 16 again. So 13 plus 3. I'm sorry.
Well, you're still taking all that damage, so...
Okay, yeah. Tell me the damage that she's taking here.
So that first attack that hit was 10, 11. And then you said the flurry has to be unarmed, right? So that's 5 and make sure...
Wait, but that first 11 was what kind of damage?
Sorry, what?
First attack, that first 11, what kind of damage was that?
magical piercing.
Magical piercing.
Mm,
And... Sorry, so the first attack was 10 magical piercing and 1 hunter's mark.
Mhm.
The other attack that hit is 7 magical, just magical bludgeoning because it's my unarmed, and 5 hunter's mark.
Okay.
Which again is magical bludgeoning.
Yep, it's still magical at the end of the day because I am a magical human being.
So you had her down to 2 with that first strike. So
Well,
yeah,
I didn't stun her.
would you like to describe the killing blow itself?
Yeah, right before she dies, she gets stunned and shocked. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
She's very surprised.
Very surprised. So
Was it the last? This is actually impertinent for you.
yes,
The first hit didn't kill her. The second hit did, right?
second hit killed her. Yes.
Okay, so I don't get her whole life. I just get
Yes.
the past.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing.
72 hours, right?
So didn't you
Yeah,
go
72
strike, punch? Or did you go strike, punch, punch?
It would have been strike, punch, punch, but I only get the full life if the blade. is
Oh,
what-
you don't have extra attack.
I do have 1 extra attack.
So why didn't you go strike?
Either way, it wouldn't have mattered because I missed on the second attack. So the first one was
Okay.
with the blade, and then I missed the second attack, and the third attack has to
Okay.
be.
Got it. Right.
So that has to be the punch.
It's the
which is
same damage. The only change is the descriptor, and the Nothic blade wasn't the killing blow.
Right.
Yeah. And I will say that that's probably good for you because now you're only experiencing the last 72 hours of her life instead of her whole life.
And that's
Which-
better for you because you don't have to write a novel.
No. I would know is the problem. Like, I just wouldn't sleep tonight and I would finish it because I have it going already because I knew you would do this. Anyway, so you punch the hag and stunned, we'll say, she falls to the floor, her form crumbling to pieces like those of her split stone golems. A rush of air like a sigh sweeps through the room. The arcane glow dims slightly before glaring brighter like a well-fed flame. It continues pulsing at that higher brightness as you collect yourselves.
Even
As-
though we separated her from the stone?
So,
She was separated from the stone.
Oh, okay.
She-
sorry.
she what?
No,
She-
nope, I was thinking of something else. Sorry. I am so
okay.
and also, as soon as she falls, I am actually going over here and casting Identify. on
As
this
soon
stuff.
as she falls, you're not doing shit. Step back. Step back. Back.
Step back
Back
where
where you
you
were.
were.
It was ready to action.
It's my turn.
No. As the life blinks out of the hag, the flickering of her illusionary spells dissipates immediately and fades completely before you on the sigil are the bodies of the children. Now you can all see them, seemingly placed deliberately on specific points in an unfamiliar pattern. Bum ba da bum. Wait, hold on. Da, da, da. Oh no, you didn't do that, so that's okay. So for Arazu and Auntie, and I mean, if Jin was here, so those of you who did not fall unconscious earlier, feel something tugging at your minds, unable to resist, your body's collapse to the floor. So you can't do anything because you have to read something first. Hold on. And Auntie.
Yeah, but it's my turn next. So I get to read it real quick, and then I get to cast Identify.
Yes, you can. I'm still going to let you. You just have to just read the thing first. Trust me, you're going to want to read the thing I wrote you. It's relevant. Okay, so when you're done, though, Scott, you have another thing that I will have to give you, but you have to read this first.
Okay.
So Chester and Scott now have things. When you're
So, do we all drop, and those who already got us got the same thing, or are Laris and I
No.
just like sitting watching each other while they're sleeping again?
Yeah, you and Alaris watch Arazu punch the hag dead. As she falls, Arazu and Auntie fall. And then kind of it's a round, I think I had it as a round of combat, or where did I have that? Hold on. Bum, 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 bum. Oh my
I feel
god, there's
like
way
whatever it is important for what happens next.
The unconscious state can only be ended by time 1 round of combat or 1 minute outside. Okay, so it'll take like a minute, but basically they pass out and then.
Oh, well, that's a problem. Who is first up between Alaris and Wiskava?
Well, I would say that you're out of initiative.
Well,
Which is
also,
why it's
because so but my turn next.
Yeah.
There's another thing that becomes unclear. So, despite me being Bassam, Auntie's personality was in charge. When Auntie's personality goes unconscious, Bassam takes over.
It's the body that collapsed.
Okay.
So Auntie is experiencing this nightmare.
Bassam is in a waking terror.
Basically, yes. Bassam is experiencing comatose essentially right now
Okay. So
because the personality is blocked.
So I, as Becca, then request
Okay.
a quick timeout.
Okay.
So at least Tucker and I can talk about this.
Yes.
So Alaris does believe Wiskava that she is not sure about breaking the stone. And because we were dealing with a hag-like creature, Alaris understands that what she viewed may not be true. But Alaris is still going to go for that stone as quickly as possible to make sure the other entity, which she cannot identify from her memory, at least she might have a chance to prevent them from grabbing it. And she will actually back towards Wiskava. But even with us being out of combat, what Wiskava would see is Alaris diving for that stone, and Alaris has already said, we need to break it. So, out of character, do you want to continue and then in character respond to this, or would Wiskava give Alaris a chance to back up towards you again?
I mean, it's literally 6 seconds.
And
Yeah. It's only a few seconds.
So, and it really, if we use the same mechanics we've been using in combat, like none of you actually lost a full round. So
No.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
You were unconscious until the beginning of your next round.
and I'm next.
Immediately. So.
Yeah, and also, yeah, no, I mean, Wiskava doesn't know what to do with this thing.
Right.
She was given no information in her dream.
I'll fight you with fists, sir. It's fine, all right.
In
Got it.
fact, because of what's in her dream, when you back into her, she kind of pushes you away.
Okay. What Alaris is doing is she is looking all around us, clutching the stone to her chest, looking for someone else. Looking for someone, not you guys, but someone else that is trying to get the stone. So if we're out of combat at this point, Alaris will now say, closer to Wiskava, as I hope Dreamgaze and Arazu are waking back up. What I saw is all of you dead on the floor, the hag defeated, but leather-clad gloves of some entity picking the stone up, and as it walked away, it's sucking the life out of the kids. The stone itself, not the person or whoever took it. And she is actually with her rapier, like looking in the shadows, trying to find anything else.
Do you want to make perception rolls or anything for that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes.
I would like to, because I'm getting this like real quick. I go to a knee as I basically come unconscious.
Yes.
And I start cackling, which is weird because I'm still Basam's body, but Dream Gaze is definitely under. And I start cackling, and I'm like,
Okay, I run towards
and
Dream
I
Gaze.
hold it and like, I'm identifying this. We're crushing it. Then we're going to Makator.
You're cackling evilly. I'm gonna punch it out of your hand.
Well,
He's gonna
Alaris
cut
has
your
it.
hand off.
One at a time.
Yeah, time real quick.
One at a time.
Yeah, who actually has the stone? Because
At the moment,
Dream-
Alaris is the one holding the stone. Because she was
Yeah.
the one who had
She
taken
took it from you.
when the hag collapsed.
Mm.
Right?
Okay. So no,
No.
no,
Wait.
no, Dream
Auntie
Gaze
has
had it when the hag collapsed. That's why I asked
Right.
for the timeout. Is this
Yeah.
what Alaris was going to do? And if we were out of combat, then maybe this could happen. But if we're still in combat and Dream Gaze comes out,
For just for the ease of it, because it's such a short period that these dreams occur, we'll say that we are still in combat for turns of rounds, at least for this next full round. For ease of it. So
it's not so much evil. It's much like it is a cackle. Like it's a straight up cackle, but it's not conniving. It's mad. It's fucking pissed. And like there's a passion, probably a passion behind it that you've heard her cack evilly, like when she's having fun destroying the blighted trees. This is more like I understand something, and this is a link.
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. In my dream, I killed everybody though, so I'm still gonna get your.
well,
You guys don't know that.
but nobody knows that.
You're just not fucking.
no, we lost you.
What awful timing. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, that's awful, horrible. So
I mean-
Wiskava kills us all.
Ah! Mm.
So we don't know that. So I'm just going to be interact.
Okay.
He's coming back.
Oh
was
my god, that
awful
was the
timing
worst
to
timing
drop out.
ever. I had
We
a
were not plotting
heart attack.
vengeance against you in your absence. It's okay.
No.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You should. But yeah, no. If you're cackling, that she thinks that stone is just taking you. So
Cut her hand off. It's
So-
the only way to get it free.
But you can't do that because it's Auntie's turn. So Auntie cackles, says what she says, and now what?
Well, I mean, I'm taking out a pearl and I'll be like, and then I'm going to try to cast Identify. I don't suspect that anyone's going to. I'm trying to get the link. I'm trying to find this woman.
Identify.
I don't have legend lore, so I can't cast that. If I
Yeah.
added legend lore, I could do it that way. But
Okay, you learn its properties and how to use
yeah,
them.
but it takes a minute.
Okay. Oh yeah, so you would have to. Okay.
That's why I didn't do it in the. It's why
In the middle of
I risked
combat,
the
yeah.
curse instead of doing it in combat.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
So,
So,
my eyes close and they've seen me cast Identify before, but Wiskava is really
Okay.
paranoid right now. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, no, I mean, if you're sitting there casting Identify, then she's just going to walk up with your eyes are closed. She's going to get ready. She's going to get right next to you.
Okay.
She's just
I will-
like waiting.
Okay.
I think maybe we can go out of combat now because Alaris would share with Wiskava what she saw and walk up. Still trying to find the other entity. Perception was 20, by the way.
And you said it was leather
Okay,
gloves?
Nope, sorry. I have disadvantage because I have exhaustion, a level of exhaustion. So that was 6. But yes, I specified leather gloves.
Yes.
You're sure it wasn't iron gauntlets?
I am sure it was not iron gauntlets. I saw leather gloves take the stone
Okay.
right in front of me.
Then I am looking around with my still see invisibility.
Okay. You're not seeing anything other than, well, I mean, you wouldn't know because you had to see invisibility the whole time, but you're not seeing anything new, we'll say.
Yeah.
Is there anything Arazu would like? I would like to magically know everything Kay thinks.
Really? You asked someone if they wanted to roll for knowing something, and I was like, no, I would just like to magically know everything.
Everything,
but when
please?
people were talking, I didn't want the joke to get missed.
Okay. No. I understand. Good delivery.
Honestly, while they were doing this, Arizu's probably literally gonna just roll over from his thing, take his Nothic blade, and insert it very slowly into the base of the back of the hag's skull. Just to be, real
Really
good,
sure?
certain that whatever's in there is done.
Okay.
I would say, because it's unclear on identify what I can see. When you pull out the knife, I would physically shudder.
Probably, yes. Okay, so if we are we all in agreement on waiting the minute for identify then? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
And I probably would have cast Bless on it before I stuck it in there just for a little extra twist.
Just for an extra.
Yep.
Okay, that is fair.
I will walk around giving 1 hit point to all the children.
Okay. Let me.
While I'm still looking around for whatever this invisible entity is.
No worries. Okay, I just wanted to make a note. Okay, so Auntie, at the end of that minute, okay, you learn its properties. So I had said it earlier, but now you know for sure that it was this hag's hearthstone. It did require attunement from her to the stone in order to access essentially this sigil where all of the children were feeding into the stone. Being attuned to that is what allowed her to draw from that. But the ability to innately pull from the sigil and the life forms attached to it is not an attunement. Like, the stone just does that by existing.
Right.
By existing, it is attached to the life forms and memories that are attached to this sigil now. If it was created by a spell, you learn. So the stone itself wasn't created by a spell. It's a hearthstone. But you, I will say, now would probably recognize the very specific flavor of magic that helped craft it.
Would I know if I destroy it, will these kids be harmed?
You would know that destroying it would not harm the children.
Okay. Then I will
actually go one step further. You would know that keeping it would be a problem.
Okay. I'm going to open my eyes, probably see Wiskava, ready to kill me.
Ready.
Actually, right now she's walking around touching the kids, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
That's not
will-
wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I will turn to I'll turn to Alaris.
You're pooping their noses. You're giving them 1 health point. Boop in the nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. I will actually then turn to Alaris because Alaris is near me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eris has not left your side and is probably doing a circle around you because she can't see invisibility. So she's doing
Yeah.
a circle around you to make sure if anyone gets close who she can't see, that she might have a chance of bumping into them.
Alaris, destroy this thing now.
Thank you. Crack.
So what are you using, or how are you breaking it?
I want to do as much damage as possible, so I am casting. Let's see, I have a cantrip, the Green Flame Blade. I should still be able to do that. I am casting that and then using my rapier and cracking it against the ground.
Okay.
So both
Um,
fire damage and piercing, and I hope sneak attack because it's an inanimate object.
it is an inanimate object, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to make you roll for everything because that'll be sufficient. And yeah, it is inanimate, so it's not like it's rolling around trying to dodge you. Although now that I think about it, that would have been hysterical.
Oh, that would've.
It just flops out of the way. Nope. Okay, so you shatter it. The green energy that had been tethering the children, including the one that had been moved to the sigil, kind of like crackles. It seems to soak back towards each of the children. The green glow within the stone fades. There are still the green veins in the black stone, but it's in shards now, and it is no longer glowing. The children are still unconscious. But yeah, the magic seems to have gone.
What is their condition? This like
They're all stable. They're all stable.
Right.
They are all.
I mean, are they emaciated? Like, has she been feeding them? Has like
They seem to have been placed in some kind of, like you would assume, something like a magical coma. They look dirty. A lot of them are disheveled, like they've been kind of continuing to grow while they're there. So longer hair, things like that, uncut nails.
are any of them adults now?
No, it does not look as though years have passed.
Are there
Enough of a period of time that they look disheveled.
I'm pretty sure we're all going to try to get these kids out of here. As we go, Dreamgaze is going to keep her eye out for skeletons or dead bodies or like.
And keep an eye out for undead.
Well, no, like the remains of children that we didn't get to in time.
Okay. Do you want to roll perception or anything for that?
Yeah. Do I have exhaustion? Because I finally went through that.
Yes, everybody now has a level of exhaustion.
Okay. So
You were really
perception.
need nightmares. You didn't have a good rest.
So 13.
I'm helping with that search.
You're helping? Okay. You guys aren't seeing any skeletons or anything. In fact, it weirdly almost looks like the hag was saying she had lived here. You're not really seeing signs of, like a normal person bed and things like that. There aren't skeletons. There doesn't seem to be like an area that she had been sleeping or anything. It's just this sigil room.
Okay. And as we do that, I want to turn to Arizu and say, Arizu, I need you to do whatever it is you do and share my dream with the group. And
Dream. Okay.
can you pull a specific memory from me if I were to give it freely?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to try to give him Arizu both my dream and my recollection. So
And you want that
share-
to be available to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm sharing them now. It is Auntie's Nightmare and Auntie's Recollection.
Great.
Both are now available to everybody.
All right.
So,
Ooh, there's a lot.
sorry.
He's all good. All right. If it's okay, since all of us know, I'm going to read this out.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh, unless
Either.
you want to.
Doesn't matter.
All right. So I'm starting with Auntie's Nightmare.
Okay.
You are in the cave, but everything around you is frozen in time. Your companions stand like glorious statues, locked in combat against the wicked hag before them. The children are there as well, still as chunks of stone on the floor, but they're breathing. You run over to the closest one and check their pulse. It's there, but weak. Relief floods you, and you begin to reach out to pick the little boy up. Something flickers to your right, and you spin to face it. A blade is swinging down, arcing towards the child in slow motion. Instinctively, you reach out, grabbing for that wrist. Then everything speeds up. You're struggling to keep that sharp edge away, desperate when it changes paths. Using the momentum of your struggles, it pulls away from the child, instead plunging into your ribs. You almost don't feel any pain, then every fiber of your being is on fire. You cry out, finally looking away from the blade, its handle protruding from your chest. That. And up at the person who wielded it, someone you recognize, someone you haven't seen in a very long time. And they're grinning.
Good, it wasn't me. I thought we
It
were.
wasn't an orc. Yeah.
I was watching both of you like, huh?
I use a blade.
Um,
I've got
I-
reasons to stab Auntie. Yep, could be me.
All right. Auntie's recollection. You remember the circumstances of your situation now. you were standing against someone, a powerful woman, who had been a member of the Witches' Coven on Makator Isle back when it was still being settled. She had been a mentor, a mother, and sister figure alike, guiding you through your arcane education. When you discovered that she had been doing what she had truly been raising you and your fellows for, the betrayal was indescribable. She was caught out as tricking and draining other witches and wizards of their magic, and will alike to strengthen and rejuvenate herself. Feeding on them, she contorted their remains into the twisted creatures you've encountered twice now, these hags. In your efforts to stand against her, she killed you, stripping you of your corporeal form. It was nothing but cruel amusement that led her to trapping and preserving your consciousness in the garment she crafted of your own skin. You're overcome with the emotion these memories bring, but feel a flicker of determined flame spark within you, because the sudden return of these memories brought to light in additional detail what she did to you. Vicious as it was incredibly draining, almost unbelievably so. It would have taken a truly incredible amount of her hoarded arcane energy to do what she did. Even after all this time, if she was funneling energy from this hag through the strange meshwork of sublimation and sapping, as she must also have been doing with the one in the woods, you now realize she must still be drained and weak. Very weak indeed.
Ta-da! Auntie members now. So yeah. If anyone else wants to share their dreams, let me know and I'll make them available. But
No, well,
yeah.
you can totally make Wiskava's dream available to the players, but she totally does not share it with the other characters.
Okay.
No.
So,
If I could read it if people want, but I mean as of now I figured we're kind of gonna wrap up for here.
Yeah.
So and we would pick it up next time. So yeah, if you want I can just read it so you guys have it, but I won't then make it available.
If you want to put it in our journals, I want to read
Yeah,
it.
that's what I said. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's really, yeah, just
So
put it
not in
everybody's
character,
journals.
but yeah.
Yeah,
I'll-
yeah. Share the handouts, just not in
Okay.
character.
I'll read yours then. We can take turns. Unless you want to. Do you want to read yours?
Yeah, I'll read mine.
Okay. I'll read Chester's while he's gone. But go ahead.
Okay. Hold on, let me find. Sorry, now I gotta find it real
It
quick.
should still be at the top. I
Yeah.
haven't moved them yet.
You are at the center of a cave, your companion standing some distance away, as though frozen in place. They stare at you in confusion and no small amount of fear. Your weapon lays somewhere in the darkness, cast aside in impatient rage. Instead, in your hands is the neck of the hag, thin, fragile. A harsh sound, something between a giggle and a plea, begins choking out past the constriction, only to be cut out with a wet snap. She goes limp in your grasp, and a shiver of energy echoes throughout the cavern. You glance around, looking to your companions. They've moved, now laying in crumpled heaps on the rune-covered floor. There is blood everywhere, the walls, the floor. Your hands are saturated with it. How had you not felt their slickness before, or recognized the aching muscles of the aftermath of one of your frenzies? As though in slow motion, you look back down, taking in the thin form in your hands. Lifeless, a child's eyes stare up into the distance past you. The runes at your feet pulse as the hag giggles above you.
So
Yeah,
that-
I understand why yours is a nightmare.
that was Wiskava's. Arazu's was, you are on the floor of the cave, the glow of those sickly runes shining up beneath your back. You can only move your eyes, and you watch as the life energy is drained from the children, pulled through the air and toward the hag, gathering around her in a massive dark cloud. The hag's voice echoes throughout the cavern, sing-songy, like a child reciting a poem. The forgotten, the forgetful are most easily led, delightful, delicious to be bled and to be shred. She cackles and you see your own memories begin to pull out of you, but not in the silvery thread you're familiar with. Instead, they are black and shining, an oil slick in the air. Immediately you feel your grasp on them, on yourself, loosen. The youngest are best, the bargaining chips, best get them fast before their threads I snips. And that was Arazu's.
That's awesome.
I like nightmare. Have I mentioned I like horror?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that.
Yeah.
So,
It was good.
I have nightmares for everybody, but since Jin and Doll and Sumari aren't here, I don't have theirs. I also don't know how we're going to play Doll's and Sumari's, but we'll figure that out later. It's fine. But yeah.
I am willing to read mine. Like
Sure.
Alaris already kind of spoke in character a little bit about what
Yes.
she saw. But Alaris's is, you are in the cave, the deep carved floor pulsing forebodingly with energy all around you. The only sound is the soft rhythm of the children breathing, in and out, in and out. Tracing the ruins on the floor with your eyes, you see where they all connect, centered in a circle toward the back of the cavern. A small voice, almost like that of the moth you helped just this morning, reaches you. Crush her heart, the stone, break it. And so you begin to crawl through terrible pain, determination guiding you, in and out. Your movements take you past the dead bodies of your companions, crushed and twisted almost beyond recognition. Past the hag, whose form lay still, reaching out toward that pulsing stone. Large hands you don't recognize, clad in expensive black leather, reach it before you. It fits easily within their grasp, and with a twist and light pull, they remove it. In and out. This is mine, the deep voice says possessively, as they turn and move away into the darkness, the dim light around you. In and out. That heartbeat of life energy from the children drains slowly, fading with each footstep, following that possessive grasp until you are plunged into total darkness. In and out. And out. And stillness.
Cool.
Ah.
So do you know who the black gloves belong to? Is that something in your character's backstory?
All she knows is the black gloves.
All I know is the black gloves. None of the NPCs we've come up against in my notes or anything else have mentioned specific black gloves unless I missed it.
Okay. So that part actually probably is prophetic, not horror, dealing with your character. That's kind of cool.
Actually, this whole
I got
thing
the exposition this time. Yay!
Yeah. Actually, for my character, this whole scene with the kids being in danger is actually horror for them because of my backstory with her Warren.
Yeah. Everyone's nightmares, I will say, I mean it when I say I do this. Every nightmare that you guys had does have a prophetic note, and all of them, these ones at least, were all written based on when you filled out those questionnaires of what your character's deepest fear is. That's what this was.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
At
Shayna
least
did.
the representation of it that the hag could fuck with.
Yeah. No. Shayna did a really, really amazing job, I think, with all of this.
Yay! That was really good, and I can't wait for in 2 weeks to
Yeah. Excited.
try to get to the island whose name I always forget.
Makator.
Man, I hope there's nothing prophetic in mine.
I think
So some of them, I can assuage your fears, which is not all of them had long-term prophetic dreams, or the prophetic dreams of if you don't do the right action immediately kind of thing. So yours, Wiskava's centered more around what to do or not do within that combat. As was actually, I think, Jin's, but he's not here. Oh, no, not Jin's. Doll's was similar in that it was...
I was assuming it was like because the hag had some crazy charm person abilities that
I was assuming that maybe you wrote it after you knew I was going to do that moonbeam right at the beginning.
No, I wrote the dream first. The moonbeam, I just had to change. So initially it was any AoE that strikes the sigil kills whatever child is touching it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want your one impulsive moonbeam to be a punishment of, okay, all the kids are dead now. Because I felt like that would have been too much.
That could have been.
Well, so the reason that I didn't want to do that was you did have see invisibility on. It was just the impulsiveness, and I didn't want to punish that because that wasn't fair.
Right.
Which is why, even though you were like, would I have seen? I was like, you would have, but I balanced it in. So you had to experience the nightmare first was the punishment of the impulsiveness rather than just everyone
I was
died.
intentionally reserving 2 3rd-level spells for Revivify during that in case we accidentally killed a kid.
I kind of figured you could have killed the kids if because of our group, I did have preparations for if people had continued to attack the sigils or the areas where they believed the children were, even having had that revealed. And that would have given you a very different ending.
And now I really, really want to get to the next level, to level 11, because I really need legend lore.
I am going to say you guys are going to level soon.
Okay.
It'll be, I mean, you guys know you're going to be leaving this island, but when you leave this island, at the end of that session will be the time when you level.
Sweet, that'll give me the time to cast legend lore. Which means
next,
that on the way to the island, we need to buy a shit ton of incense, because this spell is expensive. I just looked it up. It's 250 gold of incense.
Jesus.
And 4 ivory strips worth 50 gold each.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be expensive. I need to also look up what that spell is so that I can have that prepared for you.
Oh, yes, you do, because you will love it.
Yeah.
That's the one where
I will.
you get to write a poem for the items that he casts on.
Do you have a preference in that kind of poem? Do you want to? Is there a rhyme scheme you like? Or?
So I also can name a person I'm familiar with and learn the legend of them.
Oh, won't that be great for me to write? Okay, where can I put a note on that? Because I started it. Now I just get to finish it. I'm loving this. Sorry.
Awesome.
The thing is, the incense, so the ivory strips are not consumed, but the incense is, because incense, so.
It's going to smell like my house, my childhood home, just incense all the time.
Like, how do you even store 250 gold worth of incense? An incense stick is like 4 silver in that place.
You have to get really expensive incense, apparently.
Yeah, and or you just store tons of it in like rice to absorb the moisture so it doesn't dampen and ruin the
Your incense is burning $100 bills.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
$100. Auntie's just discovered paper money that's not a thing here, and she just rolls it up in cones and boom. Little cones of burning money. God, just the thought of it made me sad.
Or it's hand-rolled cigarettes and she just claims it's incense.
Yeah,
that could be it. Maybe it's special hand-rolled incense made of like this really rare flower or some shit.
That I have to smoke.
That you have to smoke, yeah. Well, you gotta smoke it or it doesn't count. That's where the legends, the visions come from. It's payout. No.
Oh, please no payout.
Anyways, I'm gonna log off.
Anyway.
So before we log off, there was 2 things, because this is really the first time that other people have asked about Alaris's background. If you guys want to know about it, Scott knows why originally I had some problems getting into character because of the timing of writing my backstory and then everything that has happened this year.
Right.
I can go into it. But also the chickens.
Yes.
The specific chickens Scott put into the chat. We're getting it.
Yeah, me and Becca are getting even more pets because that's exactly what we need.
Absolutely.
Yay! How many?
Minimum order is 6, so 6.
Oh boy!
Do you have to get them as chicks?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Your cat is gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, how's Puma gonna?
I don't know how that's gonna go, but we do intend to take a video and then post it to the Maaka group.
Yes,
because at
please.
least one of those chicks is gonna be named Katsu.
Yes, Katsu.
Yes.
Oh, I'm stoked. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It has to be the kind of like dopiest one, I feel.
Okay. I will.
Whatever one just has that special little vibe. Hey, what you doing over there? I don't trust you. Okay, thank you. He's been trying to get at my skulls because I haven't finished the display back here. Leave that alone. Anyway, yay! I was hoping that all of the dreams or the nightmares were enough in character, but weren't actually going to bother anyone, and it looks like that's been the case. So I'm happy. That was my only concern. But yay, I'm happy.
Awesome. I love it.
So yay. But I guess that's it then. Oh. See?
I would say, just a suggestion, if you're gonna publish this encounter, I would give a save and just make it really high so people usually fail it. And then make them skip the turn, their next turn.
That's so it worked out a little strangely mechanically because of the timing. I will make a note of that because that was kind of the idea. So there are a couple of triggers for these. One of them is anytime a player uses anytime a player uses AoE attacks that damage where a child is hidden upon the sigil or attempts to remove a child from their place on the sigil outside of 20 feet, which is why it took Alaris that extra turn to get there. It is typically they make a wisdom saving throw. The DC is 18. The unconscious state that they fall into can only be ended by time, 1 round of combat, or 1 minute, or remove curse on the individual. And then I had a note later too that that's in this part. Not via traditional means of magical sleep, so there is no possibility for resistance to magical sleep or effects. So I didn't end up making you guys do the DCs because I knew that the combat wasn't going to be an issue for you to beat, and you were all going to experience the dreams anyway. So,
Right.
But yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chester, basically everything
If
got.
you write it as paralyzed instead of non-magic, that might be an easier way to get that sleep across. Prone and paralyzed.
Prone and paralyzed.
As far as
even though they
game
do
turns.
technically fall unconscious, it's just not a magical sleep, which is why I was struggling with it because it's not that they're like bound, it's not that they're grappled or anything. I was struggling with it, which is why I just said unconscious.
Paralyzed actually would work. You can be paralyzed and still have visions.
Oh,
You can be
okay.
incapacitated and have visions too.
Or just incapacitated and prone works
Because
too.
well.
I had both. I had incapacitated and stunned both up, ready to describe for you had I managed to stun the hag.
Okay.
If you do paralyzed, though, they still get to auto crit on people, which is why it's better than incapacitated, which doesn't allow that.
Okay. I'll take a look more at that for when I because I do still plan on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still totally plan on paralyzing you and critical hitting
No,
you.
that you missed the beginning of it. For
I know.
publishing this eventually.
I know. I'm just teasing because
Thinking it. But yeah.
she's like, the night that you all make level 11, Arazu dies.
I was actually just saying it's probably going to be at the end of next session that you guys are going to level.
Yay!
Two.
So Arazu's gonna die next session.
You might want to make a backup character, like just on the side in case. Start on the questionnaire now.
I've always got backup ones. I'm actually I really enjoyed this new one on Saturday.
I'm
Really bummed that I'm missing the next 2 Saturdays because
so
I
grateful.
fly at 6 a.m. this Saturday.
a little ADD boy.
I thought it was 6 p.m., but apparently it's 6 a.m.
Aww.
It's depressing. I was really enjoying being
Aw.
neurotic and fun. He looks like Chancellor, but he's fucking neurotic.
You're gonna be fun.
I enjoyed Shayna's face when I said his nails were painted black.
I love it. Are you kidding me?
You look
I
Edgelord, and I was like, oh, but wait, there's more.
wait. What it was that ended up doing it was not just the black nails. You said fingerless gloves, and I was like,
Fingerless gloves with the black. Yep.
there we go.
I just love that he's a fake edgelord.
Yeah. And honestly, I was thinking a little bit of Kraus from the Umbrella Academy season 2
Yeah.
and Derek,
Think
from
of him
our Fun Puppies game, or me and Travis's friend Derek, just like his mannerisms and speaking, because now he's running it. We're in his Wednesday night game, which he flies very loosely with the rules, and most of the people in there are stoners. So it's Travis and I are like, oh my god, he's got that California just and then we're gonna do this and we're gonna and I'm not just like, oh my god, stop and it's just started leaking through into this character. I was like, basically I'm crossing Derek and Kraus and my original concept, and that's what came out of my face on Saturday, and it was